Good morning to everyone. Welcome to Control System lecture series. In this lecture, I am going to concentrate on two topics. In the first one is the Routh-Hurwitz criteria. It is also known as RH criteria. And second one is the steady state error analysis. Coming to outcomes from this lecture, first one is the introduction to RH criteria, and second one is the construction of RH table, and third one is the problems for finding the stability by using the RH criteria, and fourth one is the special cases of RH criteria, fifth one is the practice problems for finding the stability by using RH criteria, and finally sixth one is the steady state error analysis and problems for finding the steady state error for a given system. These are the major concepts or major outcomes from this lecture. Now we are going to discuss each and every concept in detail. RH criteria concept and steady state error analysis concepts. These two concepts are very important in the exam point of view, also in gate point of view. Now we are going to concentrate on Routh-Hurwitz criteria. That is nothing but RH criteria. This criteria is a technique for finding the stability of a system. Means by using this criteria or this technique, we are going to conclude that given system is stable system or unstable system. Okay, this is the use of RH criteria. Means we are going to find out the stability of a system. Coming to introduction of RH criteria, here Routh-Hurwitz criteria, also known as necessary and sufficient condition for finding the stability of a given system. Why? Because if a given polynomial satisfies the RH criteria, then we can conclude that given system or given polynomial is a stable system. Okay, so it is called necessary and sufficient condition for stability of a given system. And this technique RH criteria also gives the number of poles or number of roots present in the right half of the S-plane or on the imaginary axis of S-plane. If we consider S-plane, S-plane having the real axis as well as imaginary axis. By using RH criteria, we can find out the number of roots present on the right half of the S-plane or on the imaginary axis. That is the use of RH criteria. That is about the use and introduction of RH criteria. Now we are going to discuss about construction of RH table. It is also known as Routh array. For constructing the RH table, we require the characteristic equation. For obtaining this characteristic equation, consider closed loop transfer function. Consider the closed loop transfer function. Here R of S is the input and C of S is the output, and the ratio of output to input, that is nothing but this one. This one is the transfer function. Here characteristic equation is nothing but by equating the denominator of a transfer function to 0, we will get one equation. That equation is nothing but characteristic equation. Here this is the transfer function. In this, n of s is the numerator and this whole thing is the denominator. By equating this thing to 0, we will get one equation. That equation is nothing but characteristic equation. Here from this transfer function, the characteristic equation is a4 into s power 4 plus a3 into s cube plus a2 into s square plus a1 into s plus a0 is equal to 0. Here we can consider the coefficient of a0 as s power 0. Here s power 0 value is 1. So we can consider simply a0 or a0 into s power 0. Now by using this characteristic equation, we are going to constructing the RH table. Coming to construction of RH table, here RH table is a simply rectangular matrix. In this matrix, first two rows are obtained from the coefficients of characteristic equation. Okay, in our example, this is the characteristic equation. Here the highest power of s is s power 4. So first row is the s power 4 and second row is the s power 3. Here the elements of s power 4 row are the coefficients of highest power, that is s power 4 and s square and s power 0, means we are going to consider the even orders of s. So the coefficient of s power 4 is a4 and this one is the a2 and a0. Similarly, the second row is the s cube. So the coefficients of s cube and s power 1 are the elements of second row. Those are nothing but a3 and a1. Now by using these elements, we have to find out, or we have to complete this entire matrix. That is, we have to complete s square row, s power 1 row and s power 0 row by using these elements. Now we are going to discuss how we are going to complete these elements by using these given elements. This is the completed RH table. In this, these two row elements are from the characteristic equation. These two row elements are the characteristic equation. That is, we are having A4, A2, A0. Similarly, A3 and A1. Suppose consider the first element in S square row is B1. This B1 is going to obtain by multiplying A3 into A2 minus A4 into A1 by A3. Then we are going to get the first element. Similarly, consider B2 is the second element. That element going to obtain by multiplying A3 into A0 minus A4 into 0 by A3. Then we are going to get the B2. Similarly, we are going to get B3. After finding this row elements, we are going to consider s power 1 row. That is, let C1 be the first element in s power 1 row. That element going to obtain by multiplying B1 into A1 minus A3 into B2 by B1. This one. Similarly, consider C2 is the second element, that is going to obtain by multiplying B1 into 0 minus A3 into 0, that is B3. Here B3 value is 0. So A3 into 0 by B1. We are going to get the C2. Similarly, C3. After finding this row elements, we are going to find out s power 0 row elements. Let consider D1 is the first element, that is going to obtain by multiplying C1 into B2 minus B1 into C2 by C1. Similarly, consider D2 is the second element, that is going to obtain by multiplying C1 into B3 minus B1 into C3 by C1. Then we are going to get D2. Similarly, D3. Okay, like that we are going to complete the RH table. This is the procedure for finding the remaining row elements in the RH table. Okay, this is the construction of RH table. Coming to procedure for finding the stability of a system by using RH table. Okay, this procedure is very simple. It is having some set of points. Coming to first point. In first point, we are going to identify all the coefficients in the characteristic equation. Okay, all the coefficients having the same sign or not, we are going to identify in the first point. In second point, we are going to identify all the coefficients are present or not in the characteristic equation. All the coefficients are nothing but the coefficients from highest power of s to lowest power of s are present or not. If these 2 points are satisfied, then only we are going to form the RH table. That is, third step is form the RH table. After forming the RH table by using above procedure, we are going to determine the number of sign changes. We are going to determine number of sign changes in the first column of RH table. In the first column of RS table, we are going to identify the number of sign changes. If there are no sign changes, if there are no sign changes in the first column of RS table, then we can conclude that given system is a stable system. Given system is stable system. Otherwise, means if there are sign changes in the first column of RS table, then we can conclude that given system is unstable, and the number of sign changes in the first column gives the number of right hand side roots. Okay, gives the number of right hand side roots. This is the procedure for finding the stability of a system by using RH criteria. Very simple procedure. Now by using this procedure, we are going to discuss about some problems for finding the stability by using RH criteria. Very simple and very important problems. Before going to problems, just I want to summarize the RH criteria. Here RH criteria gives the number of sign changes in the first column of RS table. These number of sign changes represents the number of right hand side roots. Number of right hand side roots of a given system. If there are no sign changes, if there are no sign changes means we can conclude that given system is a stable system. If there are a sign changes, those number of sign changes represents the number of right hand side roots. This is the basic concept of RH criteria. Now by using this concept we are going to discuss the problems. Coming to first problem, test the stability of a given closed loop system by using RH criteria. Okay, this is the given system which is having the input is R of S, output is the C of S, and this is having the unity feedback, means the feedback gain is 1. So it is a unity feedback. Now by using block diagram reduction technique, we are going to reduce the given system into a transfer function. Why? Because for forming the RS table, we require the characteristic equation. That characteristic equation is from a transfer function. So first we have to determine the transfer function for a given system. The transfer function is this one. Okay, by simplifying this one by using g of s by 1 plus g of s into h of s. By using this formula, we are going to get the transfer function. This is our transfer function. Now by using this transfer function, identify the characteristic equation. That is, by equating the denominator to 0, we get the characteristic equation. That is given as, okay, this is a transfer function. From this transfer function, the characteristic equation is given as this one. That is s cube plus 10s square plus 31s plus 1030 is equal to 0. Okay, for forming the RS table, first we have to test the first 2 points in the procedure. That is, first point is we have to determine all the coefficients of characteristic equation having the real and having the same sign or not. Okay, if you observe the characteristic equation, okay, the coefficients from highest power of s to lowest power of s having the real parts and also having the same sign, that is positive sign. So first point is satisfied. Coming to second point, there is no missing term from highest power to lowest power. Okay, here highest power is s cube and lowest power is s power 0. Okay, after s cube we are having s square, then s power 1 and s power 0. So there is no missing term. So second point also satisfied. So we have to go for the third point. That is, third point is forming the RS table. The first two rows of RS table from the characteristic equation. Now we are going to forming the RS table. Okay, this is our characteristic equation and this is the RS table. This is RS table. The first two row elements are from characteristic equation. Highest power of s is s cube. So first row is the s cube and second row is the s square. These two row elements are from characteristic equation. That is, first row is the s cube. So the coefficient of s cube and s power 1 are the elements for first row, and s square and s power 0 coefficients are the second row elements. For simplification, divide this row elements by 10. That is 10 by 10, 1030 by 10. Then we are going to get this RS table. That is, s cube is 131, s square is 103. Now by using these two row elements, we have to complete the remaining two rows. That is, remaining two rows is s power 1 and s power 0. Now we are going to discuss how we are going to complete s power 0 and s power, that is s power 1 and s power 0. We already know the procedure for finding these elements. Okay, for finding this element, we have to multiply these two elements minus these two elements by this one. Similarly, if we require this element, means 1 into 0 minus 1 into 0 by 1. Similarly, we have to find out s square, that is s power 0 row. Okay, this is the completed RS table. Here s power 1 is 1 into 31 minus 1 into 103 by 1. That is this thing. That value is minus 72. Similarly, 1 into this row is 0, 0. 1 into 0 minus 1 into 0 by 1. That is 0. Similarly, go for s power 0. That is 72 into 103 minus 1 into 0 by minus 72. That value is 103. Similarly, 72 into 0 minus 1 into 0 by minus 72. That value also 0. For simplification, write this table into matrix form. After writing the matrix form, go for fourth step. Fourth step in procedure. Fourth step is we have to identify the number of sign changes in the first column of RS table. This is our first column. We have to find out the number of sign changes in this column. If we clearly observe, first element is positive, second also positive, third one is negative, and this one is the positive. Here number of sign changes are positive to positive, there is no sign change. Here positive to negative, we are having the sign change. That is first sign change. Again from negative to positive, that is second sign change. So we are having two sign changes in the first column of RS table. So we are having two right hand side roots. We are having two right hand side roots, and we can conclude that the given system is unstable system. Why? Because we are having the sign changes in the first column of RS table. So given system is a unstable system, as well as we are having two right hand side roots. So we are having two sign changes. One sign change is from 1 to minus 72 and second one is minus 72 to 103. So we are having two sign changes. So given system is unstable and we are having two right hand side roots. That is about the finding the stability of a given system by using RS criteria. Coming to special cases of RH criteria, we are having two special cases. In that first one is the one of the element in first column of RH criteria or RH table is 0. And second case is the complete row. The complete row in the RH table is 0. Complete row in the RH table is 0. Okay. If we get any one of these cases while forming the RS table, then we can conclude that the given system is unstable. If we get any one of these cases while forming the RS table, then we can conclude that the given system is unstable system. But by using these cases, we can identify the number of right hand side roots. We can identify number of right hand side roots. Okay, that is the special cases of RH criteria. Now we are going to discuss these special cases by using small examples. Coming to small example on special case 1, that is, consider the control system with closed loop transfer function. The closed loop transfer function GC of S is given as this one, that is 10 by s power 5 plus 2s power 4 plus 3s cube plus 6s square plus 5s plus 3. Okay, for this system we are going to find out the number of right hand side roots as well as stability by using the RH criteria. Okay, for forming the RH table, first we have to identify first case, that is first point in procedure as well as second point in procedure. Okay, first point is we have to identify the all the coefficients of a characteristic equation having same sign or not. Here this one is the characteristic equation. This equation having the all the coefficients from highest power of s to lowest power of s. That is, we are having s power 5 coefficient, positive, s power 4 as well as up to s power 0. We are having all the coefficients are real as well as positive. So first point is satisfied. Then second point is there is no missing term from highest power of s to lowest power of s. Okay, in this all the coefficients are present from highest power of s, that is nothing but s power 5 to s power 0. So second point also satisfied. So there is a possibility for forming the RH table. So go for RH table, formation of RH table. This is our RH table. Okay, from the characteristic equation we can get the first row, that is s power 5 row, as well as second row, that is the s power 4 row. Okay, the coefficients of s power 5 row are coefficient of s power 5, then s cube and s power 1, that is 1, 3, 5. Similarly, s power 4 row elements are s power 4, s square and s power 0, that is 2, 6, 3. Now by using these two row elements we are going to find out the remaining row elements. Here the first element in s cube is given as 2 into 3 minus 1 into 6 by 2, that becomes 0. So this is comes into first case of the RH criteria. If we get 0 by considering this 0 element with small integer epsilon, while we get the 0 in first column, first element in first column of RH table, then we have to replace that 0 element with small integer epsilon. Okay, after considering epsilon we have to complete the remaining elements, means we have to complete the remaining table elements by considering epsilon. After completing the entire RH table, we have to find out the number of sign changes in the first column by considering this epsilon small integer as positive as well as negative. By considering epsilon as a small positive integer as well as small negative integer, by considering these two cases we have to find out the number of sign changes in the first column, that is given here. That is, label is nothing but power of s and first column elements. In this, first we are going to consider small integer epsilon as a positive. By considering epsilon as positive, these two elements are same, 1, 2, and third one is a positive integer, so epsilon value is positive. Now substitute any positive value in this one. By substituting any positive value in this one, we are going to get this element as a negative. Similarly, substitute in this also, then we are getting positive. Then in this also we are getting positive. So here number of sign changes are 2, that is positive to negative 1 sign change. Similarly, from negative to positive 1 more sign change. So there are two sign changes. Similarly, identify the number of sign changes by considering epsilon is a negative integer. Means by substituting epsilon as a negative value, find out the number of sign changes in the first column. Means by substituting here epsilon is negative, by substituting negative value in this one, we are going to get this element as positive. Similarly, by substituting this one, we are going to get positive, again positive. In this also identify the number of sign changes. Here from negative positive to negative one sign change, negative to positive one more sign change. In this also we are having two sign changes. So totally we are having two sign changes. So number of right hand side roots are 2, and the given system is unstable system. Entire procedure is same, but only difference is in place of 0 we have to substitute the small integer epsilon. By considering small integer epsilon, we have to complete the RS table. After completion of RS table, in place of epsilon, we have to consider the positive as well as negative value. Okay. In first time consider epsilon as a positive, and in second time consider epsilon as negative. After considering these two values, we have to identify the number of sign changes in the first column of RS table. These number of sign changes represents the number of right hand side roots, and we can conclude that the given system is unstable system. That is the example of special case 1 of RS criteria. Now we are going to discuss about the example problem on case 2. Coming to second example, that is consider the control system with closed loop transfer function. That is closed loop transfer function is g of s is equal to this one. Then find out number of right hand side roots by using RS criteria. Okay, by equating the denominator of transfer function to 0, we'll get the characteristic equation. So this is our characteristic equation. Okay, before going to RS table, we have to check the condition 1 as well as condition 2 in the procedure. Coming to first point. In first point, we have to identify all the coefficients in the characteristic equation are real or having the same sign or not. Okay, this is the characteristic equation from highest power to lowest power. We are having the all the coefficients which are positive. So first condition is satisfied. And coming to second condition, there are no missing terms from highest power to lowest power. Here highest power is s power 5, next s power 4, s power 3, s square, s power 1, s power 0. So all the coefficients are present. So second condition also satisfied. Then we can go for formation of RS table. This is our RS table. Okay. The first two rows of RS table are from the characteristic equation. So s power 5, s cube and s power 1 are the elements of first row. S power 4, s square and s power 0 are the second row elements. For simplification, divide the second row elements by 7. That is 7 by 7 is 1. 42 by 7 is 6. 56 by 7 is 8. Now by using these two row elements, we have to complete the RS table. Okay. The first element of s cube row is 1 into 6 minus 1 into 6 by 1, that is 0. Similarly, second element is 1 into 8 minus 1 into 8 by 1, that is also 0. Okay. Here entire row of RS table becomes 0. That comes into second case. Okay. If entire row in the RS table becomes 0, for this condition we have to consider the auxiliary equation. Here auxiliary equation is nothing but the equation formed by the row which is above the 0 row of RS table. This is our 0 row. Here above this row is this one. So power is s power 4. So auxiliary equation is given as this one. S power 4, that is 1 into s power 4, then 6 into s square plus 8. Okay, this is the auxiliary equation. Now we have to differentiate this auxiliary equation with respect to s. Okay, by differentiating we are going to get this one, that is 4s cube plus 12s, this is s square, 12s plus 0. Now we have to replace this 0 row with the coefficient of this equation. We have to replace this 0 row with the coefficient of this equation. Then we are going to get, that is, this is the resultant RS table by replacing the 0 row with the coefficient of that equation. That is, this is the 0 row. These 0 elements are going to replaced by these elements, that is 4 and 12. For simplification, divide these row elements by 4, that is 4 by 4 is 1, 12 by 4 is 3. Now by using these elements, complete the remaining RS table. That is, this element is given as 1 into 6 minus 1 into 3 by 1, that is given as 3. Similarly, we can go for 1 into 8 minus 1 into 0 by 1, that is 8. Similarly, s power 1 row, that is 3 into 3 minus 1 into 8 by 3, that is 1 by 3. Then remaining are 0. Again s power 0 row, that is 1 by 3 into 8 minus 3 into 0 by 1 by 3, that is 8. Now we have to observe the number of sign changes in the first column of completed RS table. In this, there is no sign changes in the first column of RS table. Even though there are no sign changes, system is unstable, but there are no right hand side roots. So the number of right hand side roots are 0, but system is unstable system. This is the problem regarding the second case of RS criteria. That is regarding special cases of RS criteria. That is very simple. In first case, we are going to replace the 0 with small integer epsilon. Then we are going to complete the entire RS table. Then we are going to find out the number of sign changes by considering the small integer as positive as well as negative. And coming to second case, we have to replace the 0 row with the auxiliary equation, that is differentiation of auxiliary equation coefficients. Then we are going to complete the RS table. After completing RS table, we are going to identify the number of sign changes. Even though if there are no sign changes, system is unstable, but number of right hand side roots are 0. Okay, those are the two special cases of RS criteria. Now consider a small problem for your practice, that is construct a Routh table and determine the number of roots with positive real parts for the equation. That is, in this we are going to find out the number of sign changes, means number of right hand side roots, by using this characteristic equation. Okay, this is the solution. After practicing, just to verify with the solution. Coming to second practice problem, the characteristic equation of a given system is s power 4 plus 6 s cube plus 11 s square plus 6s plus k is equal to 0. Then what restrictions must be placed upon the parameter k in order to ensure that the system is stable? These type of problems are very important in exam point of view, also in gate point of view. Okay, here nothing is there. We have to find out the range of k. We have to find out the range of k by considering the condition system is stable by using the RH criteria. Okay, this is our characteristic equation. First form the RH table. After forming the RH table by using the given condition, that is here system is stable means all the elements in the RH table is greater than 0. By using this condition, we are going to obtain the range of this K. Okay, this is the RH table. Highest power is S power 4. So first row is the S power 4 having the coefficients 1, 11, K. Okay, this is the first row, and S cube is the second row. That is 6 and 6 are the elements for second row. For simplification, divide these elements by 6. So we are getting 1 and 1. By using these rows, these two rows complete the RH table and equate elements in the remaining rows, which is consisting K value, which is consisting K. Consider this condition, that is here if we consider S power 0 row, then we are having element K. Depending upon the condition, here K is greater than 0. K is greater than 0. Okay, in next step consider this element, that is 10 minus K by 10. 10 minus K by 10. This element also greater than 0. Okay, from that we are going to get the K is less than 10. K is less than 10. So the range of K is in between 0 to 10. So here K value is 0 less than or equal to K less than or equal to 10. These type of problems are very important. Nothing is that depending upon the condition we have to identify the elements in the RH table. Okay, after identifying the elements, just to find out the range of unknown parameter K. In this problem K value is 0 to 10. That is about the RH criteria and different types of problems on RH criteria. Now we are going to discuss about steady state error analysis. In this mainly we are going to discuss about finding the steady state error for a given system by using different types of inputs. Different types of inputs we are going to find out the steady state error. Okay, now go for what are the different types of inputs available for getting the steady state error. These are the different types of inputs which produces the steady state error in a system. Okay, first one is the step input. Okay, step input, this is the representation of step signal and the time function is 1 and Laplace transform of step input is 1 by s. Similarly, second one is the ramp signal. Okay, this is the representation of ramp signal which is starting from 0 and linearly increases by increasing the time, and time function is t and Laplace transform is 1 by s square. And third one is a parabola. Okay, this is the waveform representation and the Laplace transform of parabola is 1 by s cube. These are the different types of inputs which produces the steady state error in a given system. Now we are going to obtaining the steady state error formula by using these different types of inputs. Okay, these are the block diagrams for simple system, closed loop control systems. This one is the with unity feedback and this one is the with non-unity feedback. Here E of S is the error. E of S is the error, that is the difference between R of S and C of S. E of S is given as R of S minus C of S. It is for unity feedback system. If we consider non-unity feedback system, here E of S is given as, this is the input R of S. E of S is given as R of S minus C of S into H of S. That is E of S is equal to R of S minus H of S into C of S. Now by considering the unity feedback system and different types of inputs, we are going to obtain the expression for steady state error. The expression for steady state error going to determine by using the final value theorem. The final value theorem is given as this one, that is ESS is equal to this thing, limit t tends to infinity E of t, that is equal to limit s tends to 0 s into E of s. This is in time domain and this is in s domain. Here ESS is the steady state error. Now we are going to determine this steady state error by using this formula, okay, with the different types of inputs, that is step, ramp and parabolic. These concepts are very important. Concepts are very simple but very important in gate point of view, also in exam point of view. Consider unity feedback system. This is a unity feedback system which is having the input is R of s, output is C of s, and unity feedback means feedback gain is 1. And here E of s is given as difference between R of s and C of s, that is given as this one. And also find out the transfer function of this unity feedback system, that is C of s by R of s is given as this one, G of s by 1 plus G of s. From that find out C of s value, that is C of s is given as C of s is equal to G of s by 1 plus G of s into R of s. Now substitute this C of s value in this equation. By substituting C of s in this equation, we are going to get E of s is equal to this one. In both the terms, take R of s as common. By taking R of s as common, we are going to get E of s is equal to 1 by 1 plus G of s into R of s. Now by using this expression and final value theorem, we are going to determine the steady state error with the different types of inputs. Consider first case, that is case 1 is the input is unit step. Okay, if the input is unit step, we are going to find out the steady state error. We know formula for E of s, that is E of s is given as R of s by 1 plus G of s. We know R of s is the input. Here input is the unit step. R of s is the Laplace transform of step. The Laplace transform of step is 1 by s. So finally E of s is given as 1 by s by 1 plus G of s. We know steady state error formula from final value theorem, that is given as limit s tends to 0 s into E of s. Now in place of E of s, substitute this one. Okay, by substituting we are going to get this one, that is E of ESS is equal to limit s tends to 0 s into 1 by s by 1 plus G of s. Here s gets cancelled. Then this is the resultant. If you further simplify this one, we are going to get 1 by 1 plus limit s tends to 0 G of s. Here this one, limit s tends to 0 G of s, consider as Kp. Then ESS is equal to 1 by 1 plus Kp. This is the steady state error if the input is unit step. Here Kp is known as static position error constant. This is very important. That is Kp is the static position error constant, that is given as limit s tends to 0 G of s. And this is the expression for steady state error if the input is step. Similarly go for second case, that is input is unit ramp. Okay, first go for E of s. E of s is equal to R of s by 1 plus G of s. Here R of s is the Laplace transform of input. Here input is ramp, then Laplace transform of ramp is 1 by s square. So E of s is given as this one. Then by using final value theorem, steady state error is given as limit s tends to 0 s into E of s. Now in place of E of s, substitute this value. Okay, that is substituting E of s is given as this one, that is s and square gets cancelled, then we are getting this one. Okay, if you further modify this one, that is by substituting s is equal to 0 in this one, we are getting 1 by limit s tends to 0 s into g of s, that is equal to 1 by kv. Here kv is the limit s tends to 0 s into g of s, that kv is known as static velocity error constant. So steady state error, if the input is unit ramp, is given as 1 by kv. Here kv is the static velocity error constant. Similarly, go for third case, that is if the input is parabolic. If the input is parabolic, we have to find out the steady state error. Okay, for finding steady state error, first go for E of s. E of s is equal to R of s by 1 plus G of s. Here R of s is the Laplace transform of input. Here input is the parabolic, then Laplace transform of parabolic is 1 by s cube. So substitute 1 by s cube in this one. So E of s is given as this one. And by using final value theorem, steady state error is given as limit s tends to 0 s into E of s. Now in place of E of s, substitute this value. Then we are getting ESS is equal to this thing. By simplifying this one, we are getting limit s tends to 0 1 by s square plus s square into g of s. Further simplify this one, then we are getting 1 by limit s tends to 0 s square into g of s. Now replace this entire thing with some constant ka. Here ka is given as limit s tends to 0 s square into g of s, and this ka is called the static acceleration error constant, and this is the steady state error if the input is parabolic. Okay, this is about finding the steady state error for different types of inputs. Okay, if the input is unit step, then steady state error is given as ESS is equal to 1 by 1 plus Kp. Here Kp is the static position error constant. Similarly, if the input is ramp, then steady state error is 1 by Kv. Here Kv is the static velocity error constant. Similarly, if the input is parabolic, then steady state error is 1 by Ka. Here K is the static acceleration error constant. Now we are going to discuss small problem on finding the steady state error. That is, if R of t is equal to 2 plus 3t into u of t, then find the steady state error ESS for a given system. Here the given system is this one. Okay, these type of problems are very important in JNTU exam point of view. That is finding the steady state error. Okay, with given input value. If we observe the given input, that is the combination of two signals. That is R of t is equal to 2 into u of t plus 3t into u of t. Here u of t is the unit step which is having the magnitude is 2. So given input R of t is the combination of step input having the magnitude is 2. Similarly, t into u of t is the ramp. So here ramp signal having the magnitude is 3. So given input is the combination of step signal as well as ramp signal. So steady state error is due to these two signals. That is, the steady state error is given as steady state error due to step signal plus steady state error due to ramp signal. We know steady state errors due to step signal, that is given as this one. ESS is equal to 1 by 1 plus Kp. But here step signal having the magnitude is 2. So we are having 2 by 1 plus Kp is the steady state error due to the step input. Similarly, we are having steady state error due to the ramp is 1 by Kv. But here ramp signal having the magnitude is 3. So we are having 3 by Kv. Okay, that is the steady state value, steady state error value due to this input. Okay, in this we know formulas for Kp as well as Kv. Here Kp is given as limit s tends to 0 into Gs. Here this one is the Gs, G of s. Now in place of G of s, substitute this one. Then we are going to get limit s tends to 0 into G of s is equal to infinity. Similarly, we know formula for Kv. That is Kv is equal to limit s tends to 0 s into G of s. Here also G of s is this one. Okay, substitute this value here and simplify. Then we are going to get Kv is equal to 3 by 2. Now substitute these two values, that is Kp and Kv, in this one. Then we are going to get 2 by 1 plus all infinity plus 3 by 3 by 2. Then we are going to get steady state error value is 2. These type of problems are very important. That is combination of 2 or 3 signals. Okay, if the input is combination of 2 or 3 signals, then steady state error is the summation of these 2 or 3 signals. Try to practice these type of problems. This is about steady state error analysis and finding the steady state error with different types of inputs. Thank you.